All right, so you need some help deciding on a bet for tonight's UCLA-Indiana game.
Yeah, sounds like a tough one.
It is. It's Valentine's Day, but we're not talking romance.
Right, college basketball.
You got it. UCLA versus Indiana.
Big Ten rivals.
Huge game. And you sent us a ton of articles and predictions.
Let's see if we can make some sense of it all for you.
That's the plan. First things first. Friday, February 14th, 2025.
That's tonight.
Big Ten showdown at Simon Schott Assembly Hall.
Bloomington, Indiana.
Hoosier territory.
Should be a great atmosphere.
The spread is super tight, though. UCLA is favored.
By just 1.5 points.
Yeah, this could really go either way. Okay, let's start with CBS Sports.
They're giving a slight edge to UCLA.
Yeah, their model's showing a win percentage just under 60%, though.
Not a lot of confidence there.
Definitely a nail biter. Then we got Pick Dogs.
They're actually leaning towards the under on total points.
Interesting. Set at 140.
Could be a low-scoring game.
They didn't actually pick a winner, though, right?
Nope.
Okay, so we have one source, kind of sort of leaning UCLA, one playing it safe with the under, and then Bleacher Nation.
They're predicting a close UCLA victory.
74-71.
A real squeaker.
Talk about a mixed bag. What jumps out at you from these predictions?
I think what's most interesting is none of the sources seem particularly confident.
Yeah, good point.
So to me, it just highlights how unpredictable this matchup really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a toss-up, right?
Pretty much, we need to look deeper.
Beyond just the predictions.
Exactly. Figure out what's driving those predictions.
What factors are at play here? Okay, well, Indiana's coming off a big win.
Huge win, upset against Michigan State.
Snapped a 5-game losing streak, too?
That's got to give them some momentum.
Big time. But UCLA had their own win streak going before their loss to Illinois.
Yeah, 7 straight wins.
So both teams have been hot and cold, huh?
Exactly. Neither one is unbeatable.
Makes you wonder which team will show up tonight.
We'll see.
Okay, so we got two teams with potential, but some inconsistencies. What about individual players? Anyone who could swing the game?
Oh, absolutely. For Indiana, you got to watch out for Malik Reneau.
He had a monster game against Michigan State.
Yeah, double-double. 19 points, 12 rebounds.
And he came off the bench.
Came off the bench. If he plays like that again.
Watch out. UCLA's got Tyler Bilodeau leading them in scoring, though.
Averaging 14.3 points per game.
Yeah, he's been their most reliable scorer.
Gonna need him to step up big time tonight.
Especially with Indiana's rebounding advantage.
Oh, yeah. They're dominant on the offensive boards.
Both overall and in conference play.
Second chance points could be huge in a game this close.
Starting to see why Pick Dogs might like the under.
If Indiana controls the boards, slows the game down.
UCLA's going to have a tough time.
But UCLA has been outscoring their opponent by a wider margin overall this season.
So tough to say what'll happen.
I'm really intrigued to see how this one plays out.
Me too. It's a tough one.
Really tough.
We'll have to see how those individual matchups shake out.
Let's dive into those next.
Good idea. We'll be right back after a quick break.
All right, let's look at the front court matchup.
Okay, so for Indiana, you got Umar Ballo.
He's averaging 13.7 points a game.
And 9.6 rebounds.
Tough guy to stop.
Yeah, our sources didn't dive too deep into those specific matchups.
Right.
But I'm still thinking about Malik Reneau.
Yeah, he was awesome.
19 points, 12 rebounds off the bench.
That's huge.
Could be a real difference maker tonight.
For sure. UCLA has Kobe Johnson averaging 5.8 rebounds a game.
Solid, but not quite Reneau.
No, and this is where Indiana's rebounding could really swing things.
Yeah, those extra possessions are gold.
Absolutely.
Okay, how about the backcourt? UCLA's got Dylan Andrews leading the team in assists.
Averaging 3.1 per game.
He's a good distributor.
Keeps the offense flowing.
But Indiana has their own playmaker in Trey Galloway.
He's dishing out 4 assists per game.
Okay, so a slight edge to Indiana there.
In terms of assists, yeah.
What about from beyond the arc? Three-pointers.
Both teams can shoot.
UCLA's got Tyler Bilodeau hitting 1.3 threes per game.
And for Indiana, we got Luke Good.
He's averaging almost 2 made threes a game.
1.9 to be exact.
Wow, so either team could get hot from downtown.
That's always a factor.
You know, it seems like Indiana might have the edge in some areas, like rebounding and assists.
It does seem that way.
But UCLA just seems like they have more depth overall.
They do have a lot of guys who can contribute.
Yeah, like Ade Mara, he's averaging 1.5 blocks per game.
That's right.
If one of Indiana's stars has an off night, it could really hurt them.
Whereas UCLA has more options.
Right. That depth could be key, especially if it's a close game.
For sure.
So we got Indiana with the rebounding, maybe a few other advantages, and home court. But UCLA has the scoring and the depth.
Tough call.
It is. I'm honestly leaning towards Indiana a bit.
I can see why.
But I'm not sold yet. What about you? You were really into that under on total points.
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Indiana's defense could really slow things down.
Right.
But then UCLA's offense is so potent.
Yeah, they can light it up.
So it's really a matter of which style prevails.
Exactly. I think we need to figure how this game will play out.
Yeah, like will it be high scoring or a defensive battle?
Right. Will Indiana control the tempo, or will UCLA push the pace?
Good question.
Okay, so if Indiana slows it down, gets the ball inside to Ballo and Renault,
They could really grind it out.
and those second chance points would add up.
Definitely favors the under in that scenario.
But UCLA's fast break is dangerous.
They can really score in transition.
Yeah, and that depth would come into play.
If they can turn it into a track meet, that helps UCLA.
And maybe you can cover the spread.
Right.
This is tough. The more I think about it, the more I like Indiana.
Interesting.
That rebounding advantage is just stuck in my head.
It is a big factor.
But before we get carried away, we got to talk coaching.
Good point. Coaching can make or break a team?
Especially in a tight game like this one.
Absolutely. Our sources didn't focus too much on the coaches.
Yeah, they didn't.
But we can make some educated guesses.
Let's do it. What are their styles? How could they impact this game?
Well, Indiana's coach, he's all about defense.
Makes sense.
Rebounding, too.
Yeah, their stats show that.
He's also known for getting his players to work hard.
Play with energy?
Exactly.
I bet that home crowd will be fired up tonight.
Oh, yeah, Valentine's Day in Bloomington.
Gonna be electric. What about UCLA's coach?
He's more of an offensive-minded guy.
So a clash of styles.
He loves that fast-paced offense.
Ball movement, open shots.
Yep.
Just like we've seen from UCLA all season.
Exactly. So we've got a defensive guru versus an offensive mastermind.
This is getting good.
It'll be interesting to see whose strategy works best.
Man, this is like a puzzle, isn't it?
It is. We're putting all the pieces together.
Trying to solve the mystery of this matchup.
But remember, sports are unpredictable.
Oh, for sure.
We can analyze all we want, but anything can happen.
True, but at least we're going in with our eyes wide open.
That's the goal.
I feel like we've covered everything.
We've done our due diligence.
Okay, so we've got Indiana's rebounding, their coach will have them fired up, home court advantage. But then there's UCLA with the scoring, the depth, and their coach who loves to run up the score.
It's a tough one.
It really is. But I think I'm ready to make my pick.
Oh, you ready to commit?
I am. What do you think? I'm going with Indiana.
Indiana, huh?
Yeah, I got to go with the Hoosiers.
Interesting.
I think they're going to cover the spread.
Bold move.
Maybe, but that rebounding just can't be ignored.
It's definitely a major factor.
If they control the boards like they usually do.
UCLA will be in trouble.
Yep. And with their coach pushing them on defense.
Yeah, he's going to have them playing hard.
Indiana's defense has been solid all season.
True. Very true.
Plus, they're at home. Valentine's Day.
The crowd's going to be wild.
I think it's all going to come together for Indiana tonight.
I see where you're coming from.
What about you? Are you still leaning towards the under?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so we're going opposite directions.
That's friendly wager.
But honestly, even if I lose the bet,
Yeah.
this whole deep dive has been a win.
I agree. It's been great.
We went so much deeper than just picking a winner.
That's the whole point.
Breaking down those matchups, thinking about the coaches and the flow of the game.
Exactly. It really makes you appreciate the game more.
It does. And hey, even if our bets don't hit,
Right.
we learned a lot.
We can use this knowledge for future games.
Absolutely. Every game is a learning experience.
That's right.
All right, before we sign off, any last words for our listener who's still on the fence about this game?
Tough one. I'd say trust your gut.
Good advice.
Think about all the angles we discussed.
Right. Weigh the pros and cons.
And most importantly, enjoy the game. It's going to be a good one.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's it for our deep dive into UCLA versus Indiana. Good luck with your bets, everyone, and happy Valentine's.